Alright, Talofalava. This is our first podcast, I guess. And the beauty of this is talking about the story of your names. That's the theme today. We're going to discuss with the men here today. But first, I wanted to introduce not just our great mentors, but also great leaders in our community. So we have a few of us, and also we have a special guest here too from Aotearoa. So he'll introduce himself, but yeah, I'd like to give it over to the boys. First, my name is Miracle. I'm a youth mentor. Also work alongside Putting Families First. But yeah, we'll go through there. Hand over to the boys.
My name is Simei. The story of my name is that Simei is Chinese from the workers, from the Chinese workers that came to Samoa in the early 19th century. My last name was Tafauti, which is my mom's surname, which means he was a councilman on the village council, and his name translates to words that kill. And then my dad's surname is Zonge Tanata, which is poverty of people. So when he first arrived at our village, he's also a strong councilman in the village. He was not that many people in the village, so that's how he got his name, Zonge Tanata. So Simei Tafauti, Tanata Puri.
My name is Daniel Cocker. I'm a youth worker here at Caris, and my name is Cocker. My mother's surname or maiden name is Katoa, and my surname means nowadays it's got a meaning of the cockerel, the red, the rooster, and Katoa means everything and all. My name Daniel means child of God. And Cecil means actually blind. So I was named after two of my uncles, and very proud to have my name.
Cool. So that was just an icebreaker of roughly what we'll be talking about today, our topics. So yeah, obviously my name is Miracle, but a big history behind it. Yes, I'm light skinned, but I have a family blood from the German side that I'm still trying to discover. I think for me, it's always good to have that real down talk. This is most of the young people's lens, and most are still trying to find their identity, where my color of my eyebrows, the color of my ears, or whatever it is. And it's just cool to unfold. But before we get to the topic, I want to introduce our main man here, introduce him here. So if we can give him a warm welcome. It's good to have Tia here from Aotearoa, and he will share a little bit about the story of his name and just who he is and the grace that he carries with him. So yeah, over to you.
Talofa, shalom. My name is Tia Soimain. Tia is short for Sio Tia Imalia. It's from my dad's village from Wailo, Alipata, and I think it's a name with the for the village. So yeah, that was new. I never knew until my wife Sawa asked my dad. So 30 years later. And my surname is Soimain, obviously from my dad's side. So yeah, that's our family name.
Thanks to kind of why we have this, why it's called the story of your name, because what we've learned in schools is that most of our young people don't know the stories of your name, and if, just that basic question of asking the story of your name kind of triggers a bit more curiosity, and we've seen in our programs that the young people have gone and asked their parents what their name means. Awesome to have you here too. You also have there's a chief, and you have a chief name that.
Yeah, yes I do. So I have two chief titles, Salmon titles. From my first one's Faleao, from my mother's side, Tiri Wasiata, Soimain, and so that's from Satupaitia, Pitinuhu and Sabai. And my other Matai titles from my dad's village, Fatali, from Alipata, Wailo Alipata. So yeah, I should add. Silti and Malia is a story. It's a story of a hunter, and I was told that it was a young man going out and to provide for the village. So what I remember is Siltia i Malia. So it's like a blessing to go and be fruitful, be your hunting, be successful. And I think at that time the story is around hunting pigeons and come back and to provide for the village. So I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, so if I add all my names together, Whaleao, Whaatari, Seotia i Malay, Whaasua. Whaasua is named after my father, Sui Mai.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's really important to highlight those, all names. We usually talk about Whaasingomanga, and then make sure you carry your genealogy, your environment with you everywhere you go. And for us to be able to highlight that on our podcast is important. And to have you here to help us showcase that or emphasize that in our first podcast is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And it's such a good ground base to start us, a good example, because you know your story of your name. Has that given you like a clear vision of where you want to go, who you are, as a Pasifika, but also as a father and mentor? Has it really shown you a direction because you know your story of your name?
Yeah, for sure. Back then, I didn't really know. So, I'm a Kiwi-born Samoan, grew up in Otara, South Auckland, most of my life. So, Mr. May talked about Whaasingomanga, which is your environment. So, growing up in my environment, in early days it was full immersion Samoan, but then, as the years progressed, going to schools, and it was English. And my English wasn't the best, but but it's a journey. Definitely, I think, fast forward today, especially experiencing being a Bestow a chief title, going through that earlier this year, that was really a highlight of my life. Besides marrying the woman of my life and also my children, but it definitely gave me a sense of pride of the names that I carry and they carry before me. Also, it kind of like, in a way, I've always served. I've always inspired by those who serve in community, and when I hear the meaning of my name and providing, going out there and share your whatever to others, I think, even before it was born, like before I knew my name, it kind of already paved the way of what I'm doing now. So that's pretty significant. Our parents are amazing, and it's so true. I think, when you're named, we're given a name like that, there's so much around it, and it just gives purpose and meaning. But we need to know that. If we know that at an early age, you kind of like embrace it more. And I'm just thankful that even better late than never, embracing it now. And it's just an honor to carry those names, because I know there's a lot of responsibility. But for me, let's just say even about those names, I know that I still carry my dad and my mom's names within me. And I think that's what we do. And I guess it's really nice when we why that's supported in our program, because it really gives an invitation for young people to have that solid norm with their families. Just to have the conversation, the curiosity about, and then that will just open the doors of other things about their identity and culture. So the story of your name, I think it's a great start, and it just a good start of the journey of working for young people to get to know more about their identity.
Before I ask you about the meaning of Karis, the meaning of Karis, I just wanted to acknowledge Utau Sriwai, you and Utau created this, and it's important to acknowledge Utau when we're speaking about Karis and what it means, and I just want to acknowledge her part of our podcast as well. But my question was, what is the meaning of Karis' name? I'm sure these are, part of you being here is to kind of enforce the our values and what we do in schools, and even we've added a lot to, just by being here for the week, added to what does Karis mean? What is it?
It's a great question. Karis came out of our Bible study that Tawa and I a book, it was called Relentless, from John Bevere, and at that time, I think we moved there I came over in 2011, And I think 2012 we knew we were going to set up our own, because we came from that background serving in our own communities back in Ōtara, South Auckland. Taua, she's a teacher by trade, and I've always been a youth worker. And I knew that was my calling besides rugby. And so yeah, I think like anything, obviously the initial thoughts was figuring out my family, obviously something Pacific, Samoan, a name that represents who we are. But as we read the book together, you know, the word Kairos really captured our journey. Kairos in short means grace. And a little extension to the definition, it's going beyond your natural ability. And I think for myself and Tawa, always the journey of working with people and community, like you need to have grace, because you're working with sometimes our most vulnerable. And also for relationship is key. And not every relationship is healthy, but also it's to move forward. Forgiveness and grace is really important. And obviously, you know, we are both, you know, we love the Lord. Faith is a big part of who we are, and hence why we were reading those books. So it really registered to us, and we prayed about it. And for me, what I appreciate that Sabi, because it represented our journey, our malama, coming from Ōtara, coming to Melbourne, and setting up a Pacifica Youth Services with a Greek name, but I love it because it's a point of difference, and we've always been different, and I've never been a person to try and follow the trends, but you know, I think it's important to follow your heart, and for me, that's without a question, Kairos is our name, and we chose the name because it represents everything that we wanted to do back then, yeah, schools, but even to now, I think it's significant, and already, it describes who we are as people and also as an organization and what we do.
Part of, I really want people or you for our audience to hear what our main program or the basis of our main program, which is Tautai. If just a quick snippet of what that program is about and how it impacts our young people, just quickly, if that's okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Can I just start before by saying the vision of Kairos? So the vision of Kairos is young people in their elements, serving and leading the way. And I think in our vision, it kind of like is the overview of all our programs. So Tautai, obviously it's from a Samoan, it's a Samoan. Then if you break it down, Tau to read, and assist, and Tai is the tides. So obviously read and assist the tides. And so obviously it's symbolic to a metaphor of as a mentors, as someone, you know, who has better experience, and to be able to guide our young ones, to be able to read where they're at, be able to understand, have empathy, to meet them where they're at, also to where to navigate the seas, to navigate whatever situation they're at the point that they're in, but even to navigate them towards education, navigate towards their aspirations. And obviously, element is a word that's in our vision, and element is, for us, it's about what is their purpose, like what is your purpose, like what is that calls you to wake up. What is that one thing that you know you were born to do on earth? And I think there's a lot of overload of information out there for our young people. And I think we kind of know what it is when we're growing up when we're younger. But as we get older, obviously, you know, we just choose survival, then choose to take the leap of faith in what you're passionate about. So either way, circumstances play a part. But you know, they still don't lose. Still keep your dream, whatever it is. As we all know, our time here on earth is temporary, and you know, hand on heart, I think for me, I mean, obviously it's pretty often, but that if the day comes to me, to be called home, called go to heaven, at least I can say I've done something that I know that I was called to do. and that's what matters. The human life you're put on earth. And I thought it was to play rugby and go to every college and eat lunch and hang on with mates before we beat the next Michael Jackson. But when it really came down to, I think what I was good at was just being a helper. Being a helper because someone helped me. And yeah, and that's why I continue to do what we do now.
I guess you're someone that has lived what you're speaking in terms of the pillars that you guys have put together of know, grow and sow, and even the opportunity that you've given us as professionals and myself as a general manager. You know, you've that lived experience that you've gone through that now you can help mentor others. You know, whether it's your stuff for the young, for our young people. You know, I've seen the impact in my short time at Caris. You know, the programs and even the field and how our community sees our co-founders and the program altogether. Like, it's such a privilege for me to be a part of, you know, and just to share that. And you know, it is a privilege to be sure because you've shown that that's the soul that you know that you've exemplified, and it's perfect, you know, because mentorship, you've been there before and you've kind of helped show the young ones and explore the different options out there.
Yeah. Well, can I go back by saying that the privilege and honor is working with amazing people like yourself. You know, this is a blessing to journey together in our season, and we've had also acknowledge those past staff who've been a part of the journey. Like collectively, because of them, you know, why Caris is still going. Their service, their experiences, their hearts. Their impact on the young people, you know, from back then in 2013 to where we are now. So yeah, that's really important. Talk is our flagship program. It's our Pacifica Mentoring in Schools program. There's a couple of layers in that. Obviously, we have our core curriculum, which is all from our experience organically, and it's all from what the young people have asked and what they want to learn about their culture and identity. And I think the one thing about being here in Australia, especially in Melbourne, we have a massive Pacifica diaspora. What does that mean? It means there are more people who are born outside the islands, Pacifica born outside of the islands, the Pacific Islands. And there is more here in Australia than in New Zealand and in the islands. It's we're probably one of the fastest growth in terms of our peoples here in Australia. So if and even today with the citizenship and everything, you know, that's why I think it's really important that Caris continues to exist in schools, because we know that education opens many opportunities for our students to do well here in Australia and Victoria. When, you know, not every young person is going to be academic, but you know, there are other opportunities and other ways schools are important to build character, through sports, and just to be plugged in. I think the most important thing is that what Tatai does work really well is the being able to weave our traditional Pacifica values with the Western ways of the schools, and so because our kids are probably more familiar with the Western of in school, what it's like, and then being able to navigate their culture at home, church, all those things. And it can be a lot, it can be full on, but I think when we hear our young people say when they come to Tatai, it's a place where they can just be free, they can breathe, they can be a safe place to ask some of the questions about their culture, and also they get to hang out with cool mentors and look up, you know, to do what they do, to hear from their experiences, because you know there's a lot of them don't have big brothers or big families. A lot of our families kind of like just want to be on their own, and then you have those that are for all their knowledge here. So you know it's very different for each one. So it's really important that Caris is kind of like that bridge, kind of like that you know, we're all in this together, and wherever you're at on the spectrum, we embrace it, we acknowledge it. And I think that's important. And then I feel I'm really proud of how we're able to continue to navigate that and be the leading in what we do, which is fantastic. So yeah, as you do every year, we make our program relevant to the young people, and it comes with experience, mentors to craft it together. But the foundations are there, our pillars are there, which is something we're really proud of how where we've come.
And just for the mentors, do you guys have anything to add to season or from you? Miracle, you've been here for over a year, and
Yeah.
how have you found the programs or being part of Caris?
I think something that I'll definitely hold like close to my heart is just being able to see cars grow over. I think I've been in 2 years, 2.5. It's been so fast, but the fact that I've seen it form in different seasons goes to show like our story of our names. The story is a journey, so the fact that the name shifts in different seasons, being able to stand by Tia at that time, he told me something really important to me, because I always joked about being a light-skinned Samoan, and he told me, hey, you know, you're blood Samoan, you know, embrace that, you know, don't shy away, don't say you're plastic, because you're not. Your blood is full Samoan. And I took it in, and I was like, wow, like the fact that me starting at Caris really helped me embrace my culture, and I love the story of my name now. Like the fact that, you know, I can go on and on and on, but I kept that because I've learned that from Caris. And yeah, I was always quite distant with my name, but now, yeah, man, Miracle, aka Avavenga, which is Samoan version of Miracle. So yeah, I'm really grateful. Yeah, thanks to Caris for that.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, like that, and to what Miracle was saying, with having the opportunity to really connect with my culture through the program, been a really awesome experience. Personally, professionally, watching the impact of the program with similar young people in a similar stage, similar experience. I've been born in Australia and been from the islands, and having limited opportunities or connections, you know, maybe around language or customs or practices. So being able to be exposed to those and have first-hand experience with those through the program has been really awesome, you know, and enjoyable. Traditionally, it was around, you know, relationships and well-being, and always also felt like I was a bit of a sellout, you know, where I always want to work with my people. So now the opportunity to do so is something that's really important for me personally, and like Miracle said, just the activities like knowing about our names and getting deeper into our understanding, connection, and relationship is also extremely important as a father, and you know, father of a young child. So that would be in our family, bringing this into our family.
Also, I actually have sentiments as well, and we keep speaking about the new season. And this year we celebrate our 10-year birthday. What are some of the highlights, and then what is the plan around celebration for that celebration, or is there a plan for celebration?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, Sime, and definitely, I think as a Pacifica organization, there's not many out there, and I think we've been really proud of how we're able to shine in spaces, and yeah, just really proud, and absolutely we need to celebrate. I think it's 10 years is a collective of hearts coming together to celebrate the success, celebrate the just for us to exist today is huge. It's huge for a small organization to start with 2 people, and we had 1 child, and you know we were trying to raise a family, but we believed in our mission. That's why we came to Melbourne. We saw the need, and from our experiences from back home in the ANC, we could do this. This is what they do, and I think it's important to really acknowledge the people of this land. You know, that really made us better, you know, because to understand what they came through and what they come out of. So, you know, again, just acknowledge the Wurundjeri people, their leaders, the British Islanders land, and pay respects to their elders, past and present. And as for Pacifica people, it would be remiss of us to not also acknowledge our grandparents and our parents. You know, the big move to come places like in Australia and New Zealand wide, so their children can have more opportunities, a better life. You know, that's the heart of all our parents and our grandparents, why they, was like sacrifice, why they did what they did before having children, so they're in a better position so they don't have to struggle like they did. And that's why, and we echo that in what we do. We take those stories into the schools. I think that's, if anything, you know, that's the real stuff, because all our, you know, there's a heart of one parent, there's a heart of all our parents. So yeah, so Karis is, we want to represent all our Pacific communities, you know, Melanesia, Polynesia, Micronesia. You know, we want to, whoever's in the room, there could be 99% Samoan, and then there could be one Fijian. We celebrate everyone. You know, it's not about number, it's about acknowledging those who are there. And then we can all learn from different values of our Pacific culture. You know, yes, there are similarities, but there are also some big differences. And again, you know, we know what works. When they have fun, when we have activities that in sync with the purpose of the session, and they learn more and having fun, that's gold. And then we can walk away knowing that, number one, we have the positive connections and deep rapport, like that's key. Now you got them, cool. Now you can really do some awesome work, and you can really shape them, you can really, you know, they're just longing for leaders, you know, like our real models, not role models. We don't play a role. And we want to be authentic, we want to be real, we want to be you in the spaces, you know. So we call it real models because you are, and we need more. They need to be surrounded by more. Yeah. So at this point, it's really important for us not just be in schools, but also be where we can be, and also at the same time open doors for others that specialize in their field, whether it's mental health, whether it's sports. You know, cool. We know those people. We just bring them in. You know, and I think, and I'm really proud that Karis is a love success story. In for our Pacific community, it's a love success story.
Well, I really solidify the message, or back the message of how our young people are leading role models or mentors in our school. And obviously we've had a conversation the whole day, we've been talking the whole day, and we can keep talking about Karis and our interest in our young people and our plans. But for the sake of our podcast, you know, when I first started, one of the wishes here was to step out and shine. So for as principal to come to, what's the plan for the next 10 years, Karis? Is the and you've just come from New Zealand to visit us and to, you know, affirm our values and for training. Yeah. What does Karis look like in the next 10 years? Or
That's a great question. I think Karis is for the next 10 years, obviously, is to continue to be led by the voices of our young people. You know, we know the need. Why we got to start back. Why does Karis exist? Because of all the need for our Pacific, the issues, the barriers. You know, just to attend school with success for some of our young people. You know, it's huge because, you know, that's we know what our Pacific household, there's a lot of stuff that happens. So we want to be the light. We want to be also there for those that get kicked out of school or, you know, in trouble with the law. The main thing there is we have representation, and obviously with things happening right now with the increase of our Pacific people here living in Victoria, we need more of our representation in all spaces, not just in education, but in employment, in housing. I mean, in all the big blocks, because those things matter. For us to live here, we need a roof over our heads. We need jobs. You know, we need to provide, and everything else. You know, our people always, you know, we come here, we create our churches, and now our other churches becoming sports clubs. Like we just get connected to community. You know, and it's really important. All of that, social cohesion, all the stuff that. It's really important for us to thrive here in Victoria. So yeah, so the next 10 years is about, can Karis be a voice? Can we inform policies that can cater and also understand and best serve our Pacific people here living in Victoria? Can we influence, better support systems when through education, through migration, through Pacific schemes? Like there needs to be more from community up, not top down, but from the voices from the community up. Community should inform policies. That's where they should start, and that's where they need to work with us, because we know the solutions on the ground, and it should be reflected at the top. And I think they've got to. That's not happening. They got to do better. They need to do better. Now that we are more visible as citizens, for those that become citizenship here, we're also taxpayers. Now that we'll pay more attention. Now our voices will probably take more purpose, because But for me, I always remember the people that listened to us before this. I always think of them. The people that came to us, asked for ideas and our solutions before any of that. And I think you got to keep that in mind. So the next 10 years, it's got to be relative to the times. Is a school mentoring? Is it after school? For what is mentoring for Pacifica? For us, it's group mentoring, because we work stronger. Our strength is in our collective. We are a people group. But there is a need for individual one-on-one. We need that. So we do both. We are capable of doing both. So for us, it's to set the standard. Setting the standard for others to inspire to start their own Pacific Youth Services in school. We're only in the West. There might be another group or community out south, east, wherever, and we say, hey, we can support, this is what we've done, or they do probably need mentorship, like you said. I think when we know our identity in Karas, we know why we exist. It all goes back to our vision. So if it means the next 10 years we're in the schools, then the next 10 years we're in the schools, because that's why we exist, that's the need. And hopefully over that we'll be able to influence our bright minds, our young people going to further education, being able to come back and give back. That'll be great, where we can provide them with great part-time work and experience at the same time. They do what they need to do. So we want kids that have cool jobs. There's heaps of jobs that can work at their factory in there, but I think if we can create more opportunities where it aligns to their future, to their pathways, like entry, like a soft entry into becoming social workers or working in government, and then this is where Karas is a great platform there. It's a training ground, and I think with our experience, I think Karas is in a position to be able to train the trainers, be able to share our knowledge of this is what's worked well, how to engage with Pacifica young people. I think we're in that position. So for us, we're in next 10 years, we're creating our license that we can be not just here in Australia, but we're thinking bigger. We got to think bigger. We came here when we thought, Australia's big. We want to think Pacific, because where's Pacifica? Where's Pacifica? We're not only in the Pacific Ocean, but we're all over the globe, thanks to Samoa. But people, like I said, the Pacifica diaspora is massive. So and we're all hungry for identity. We're all hungry to learn our mother tongue. We want to retain a bit of our culture. We want to show our kids to do the Lord's when they're blessing the food, to do the Lord's Prayer in their own language. How we look after our elders. We want to continue that. We want to be the generation to continue that, not be the generation to water down our culture. So, if New Zealand's going to be a brown nation, and by they say 2050 is going to be a brown nation, then, today, how come we're not succeeding in education? Why are the stats we haven't even moved the dial back in Aotearoa, and yet we were all in all these spaces. So for me, we have an opportunity to take the learnings from there to do better here. We have the opportunity, what can work, what maybe we can tweak it to make it better here. And again, when you come here, learn the ways of the people here. Don't come with your pre-solutions, get immersed, serve. Hey, do your time. Do your time, and then you can think. Then you can, oh, look, we want to think. Because you've done your time. I think, you know, time is a commodity, you know, it's not like everything is all drive in, drive out. But I think if you serve, like give yourself, like really serve a community, especially if we come to another place, get to know why, you know, get to know the history before we come here and represent your culture. For me, that's important because it tells me, oh, cool. Well, number one, you're humble, and number two, your heart's in the right place. They will sit you in good stead. Yeah. So next 10 years, or up to the young people.
Yeah, no, that's also my full support that, and as well, like even as short as yesterday, going into school, our new school at Net, it's not you know, and just having the young people now meeting groups saying we're so grateful for you guys coming in here, you know, and to be able to, for those plans to have like a bigger impact on our young people because they, you know, they want it, you know, that's something that they're actively looking for. And I speak on behalf of the boys to say that we appreciate being a part of Karis. In the previous you know, cycle and then heading into the next 10 years, and we're grateful for you. And I thought, you know, because you have to go back to New Zealand, you've been here for a week, you've got to return back to family and the young ones. I thought we would be able to check out to Miracle if we don't have any last words. You know, check out the usual Karis way and then we end with a prayer. But you know, there's
I do have a final word, and I just want to say that, you know, for Karis, you know, it's all about the mentors. And, you know, you need good people, quality people, people that just have the heart, and also, you know, that are willing to go beyond the natural, go beyond, you know, not to be afraid of the unknown, not just to be bold and courageous. That's why it's such a privilege to be sitting here with you all. Oh, and again, I already said it earlier, but I also acknowledge those that gave their heart to Karis to serve with us. Our young leaders that have come through and led our program, they are the real stars. They are the reason why we exist, because of their contribution running Southern community, the sports, you know, and now they're all doing really well. Studying, working, like they're doing really well. I mean, now they're in the next phase of life, but we all know that teens age is a crucial age. You know, anything can happen. That's where everything is, you know, from trying to find their place, trying to get through, trying to find a job, do I fit in, fit not. But they've all done the majority, the bulk of them are now, and they know where they are, they know where they're heading, you know, they've got cars, they're doing their thing, now they're ringing the tail, oh, we come, I want to shout you. You know, they can't wait. I'll shout you, I've got you here, I'll shout you. You know, and I know they're going to do the same with you guys too, you know, and I think that's the privilege of doing work in community. We don't ask for anything, we don't go there, hand out, we don't go there, oh, this is who we are. We go there to help, we go there to serve. Yeah, all the spotlight, the spotlight is probably on us, but then we go there to serve, like this is what we do, and we have that in front of us, whether we have 99 or even just the one. That one, even the audience of one, we will still give our best. We still turn up for them as we've done. And yeah, just again for me and Tara, it's been a blessing. Yeah, and one thing about our cultures, and one thing that I'm going to understand, we don't stand alone. Even when we go to schools and working one-on-one, there's always our families, there's always that back us, you know. And for me, that's what gives me being bold and being brave, because I know who I carry. I don't know. My mentor passed away. He saw something in me that I didn't know. And he kind of like, he used to people, all the youth workers, he's like the godfather youth working all the time. I don't want to say it because probably come back and say, oh, now you don't love her. But I know I was his God. And it's hard for me to say that because so I'm carrying on. I hate this for me and going back home is to go back not just when I left, but I go back with more because what I've done here with y'all. So we all grow, we all evolve, and yeah, it's the same mission, just probably a different way of doing things. And my jokes that worked 10 years ago don't work now. All my icebreakers now, I'm taking your icebreakers there and miracles, you mean? You know, but we know what it feels like when someone cares, really care. And I always say that the more time you spend with people, they know you care. So, yeah, so time is love, love is time. I just want to say that because it's a big push of who I am and what I do. And I couldn't do it. I was with any better person to do with than with my number one, with Tawa.
Yeah.
That's me.
To follow the logic of the program, Phil, what was your mentor's name?
Alan Vana.
Alan Vana.
Alan Vana. BP. Yeah. Humble man. Sports, everything. Yeah. The vehicle sports, the flower started at school. He introduced me to sailing runs and steak and cheese pies all together. Yeah. He went to the school that I hated, De La Salle College, because I went to Uru College. But because of I was hard, you know. But yeah, he showed his lines will always be keep the main thing the main thing. Yeah. Keep the main thing. Yeah. He'll take me everywhere I go. There's meetings with ministers, whether it's with celebrities. Like he'll take me, let's go. Okay. You know, without knowing, he was teaching me. You know, he was saying, oh, yeah, I could never. He was a great orator. He could really speak. We go into places outside of Otara, West, Central. You know, we used to walk into rooms, we feel, people look down at us because, where we're from. But man, he was the light. He would just, whenever he spoke, the room, he knew how to turn a room and just bring that hope and always make the effort to go see people. Yeah, even though he didn't have his big man, I think at that time he was working at King. And for me, I was in the leagues for a while. I was a right-hand man when we had started a unique project. They birthed out a gang, out of the death of a young people in our community. And he was chosen to lead the special ops team of youth workers. And I was lucky to be the team leader. And I just soaked up everything I knew of him and also the other organization was Sally Crosspower. Sally Pryor is another great man. But I know how I was. Yeah, we did sports camp every summer. Because it was a massive sports camp, we'll take a team tier. Yep, I could do the t-shirts, whatever you needed, lead the teams, chants, anything. At some camps would be worship the band. I just open my mouth and I just, I did whatever I did. And then.
Throwing it into us, or your mentor did for you, but you're kind of doing it for us as well. For me, I speak positively of that.
Yeah, it's a good way to wrap up as well. Just going back to the story of your name is the theme of this, and the fact that he carried the story of his name and then carried on to you, now to us. It's just a full circle moment, and that's the journey of their story. So what a way to finish up. So to put it back into the purpose of your name, to close us off of this podcast is the story of your name. How does that align with the youth work now? that we were doing, how does that align with the purpose that we're in now in this season? Before we close up, if that's all right with you guys. Dad, if you want to start us off, and then we're going to end this off.
I feel I'm named after two of my uncles on either side, and they both serve the community. So I like to think that I carry that on, you know, and to their standard also. My Uncle Cecil Cocker and my Uncle Lord Daniela Tafuri.
I was named after my uncle Valamasi May, serve as well. Now, I found out recently because Lauri he's a chairman of FAST. His dad was the second minister out of our district. The first one was Valamasi May. So he was the first MP out of in our district. And that service is kind of, I like to think that I'm kind of towards the
Till, and I'll be happy to finish off.
Yeah, I love the story of your name because every name leads you to your home or leads you to your iwi or your village. And remember, if we're navigating the sea, it's a big ocean out there. But our ancestors did that. They all their knowledge, but they knew how to find their way home. And I think that we still need to park our waka, we need to park our canoe somewhere, and where we park it home. So, you know, for me, our story leads us home, whether we've been there or not. Whether you're born in Australia, New Zealand, you haven't been to islands, I think that's the exciting part. I can't wait for you to go back and connect to roots, connect back to your villages, wherever. So your name brings you home. You're more than one home.
Just to finish us off, there was something you shared about that related to my story of the name, is that parable of the 99 sheep and the one, is that Christ has always been about the one. You know, we're talking about, it's not about the numbers. And the gospel behind the parable is that the one was lost, but I feel like the one was found. It was the 99 that was lost. And the fact that the gospel is that we were after the one that it says in the parable that Jesus carried him on his shoulder and gave him special attention, and then put them back to the 99. And it goes to show that we are the ones. We are the ones. Tia was the one out of the 99. Daniel was the one out of the 99. Timei was the one out of the 99. And how we shine this on the young ones, that we got to find the one that can lead the 99. Because we're after the ones that can really change it for the young one, the next generation, next generation, next generation. And that's the parable that I want to just close us off, is that the story of my name is Miracle. And I was born on a day where my parents were overstayers. I was the second child and they prayed for a miracle. The fact that I was born on that day, they got accepted into New Zealand. So the fact that my name was the reason why my family's here, able to build a family, have jobs. I put myself in the young ones, like, okay, I'm gonna pray for a miracle over the young ones. That there will be the outlet to their families, their breakthroughs through their trauma, to be the light in their, in the 99. So yeah, just to wrap us off is that from Tia sharing as our special guest, it's a privilege to have you here and seeing the brothers here. What a powerful way to start a podcast about Story of Your Name, and this is how powerful it is. And we look forward to making more podcasts about Story of Your Name and where we can go from here. So yeah, it's a pleasure, and that's our checkout from today. So yeah, thank you for your time, and especially thank you to our CEO. Round of applause. Shout out to our CEO, founder of Karis. And we'll continue to be that one sheep and continue to shine that light on others.
I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you, Tia, for the week that's been. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's us.
No, that's our first podcast with us.
And that's a wrap.
That was unbelievable.
Nice work.
Oh man.
Let's just need to start it.
Yeah. Nah, I appreciate you guys pushing. Honestly, I was just like, oh my God, it's not. But then that's like, if you didn't just start it, we wouldn't. We always have an excuse to be like, oh, we can't do it because we don't have this. But nah, powerful.